Okay, Dad, you're getting ready to head up on the mountain. It's ski time. You got your kids with you. You are excited to go. What are some of the key things that you need to make this a happy experience? I've got one suggestion for you. Snacks. Lots and lots of snacks. Let's talk about the logistics of snacks on the ski slopes for your kids right now. Hey, welcome to Hyper Academy. My name is Ryan Fields-Spack. It is a ruthless world out there. How do you stand up and how do you step out? You do it by getting your mind right. And that is what Hyper Academy is here to talk about. We talk about dads, you and me, and how we can be better fathers, better husbands, and enjoy the time that we get with our kids, which is absolutely fleeting. And we have a series going right now that talks all about skiing with your family. There's a lot of logistics that go into that, so there's a lot of videos in this series, but this one in particular is one of the most important. Snacks. What can we have? What do we need to have for our kiddos to ensure that they have a good time on the mountain so there is no meltdown? You know how a meltdown can go in your house? Compound that significantly when they're cold, when they're agitated, and when they're in an uncomfortable environment with stiff ski boots on. It can really be a challenge. So let's dive into how we can improve upon their experience with snacks. As I said, snacks are the most important thing. What you really want to do is make sure that you have enough of those on your hand to be able to reduce that amount of whining. And what I talk about specifically is as you're doing a lot of the things, there's tons of waiting when it comes to skiing, right? Waiting in line to get on a gondola or a ski lift, waiting to get your boots and your skis on, waiting in line to get lunch. A lot of those things, I have no qualms whatsoever about bringing a lot of treats, their favorite treats, and holding those treats hostage in lieu of good behavior. So if they whine a small amount versus a large amount while they are waiting in line to get on the lift, I make sure to tell them that, okay, you're going to get your gummy bears, but only if you reduce that whining, right? And then I hand out the gummy bears while we're on the lift. Those are the kind of things, call it bribery, call it what you will, but this is absolutely important to keep the peace while you're on the mountain. So having those treats, their favorite treats, at hand in your pocket and available is absolutely huge. The second thing, force feed them as much and as often as possible. Any chance you get to give them their favorite snack, whether it's a bar, whether it's a fruit leather, anything that is your kid's favorite snack, if you have those at hand and anytime you have a chance, especially on a lift, to open it up and shove it in their mouth, you'll be all the better. Keep in mind, your kids are burning a ton of sugar and a ton of calories while they're skiing. Even if it doesn't feel like you're getting your heart rate up, they sure are. And a bare minimum, their head is rocking and rolling and it's burning a lot of sugar. So they will quickly go from just fine to falling off a cliff if you don't maintain those sugar stores. So make sure, give them all the food that they can particularly handle, as much as they can handle right away. Now, on the same token of that, if your kiddo refuses snacks, you've been on the mountain for say 30 minutes, 1 hour, and they don't want any more snacks, keep an eye on that because oftentimes they may be so excited, so energized, so distracted by what's happening around them that eating a bar or taking a drink of water, just importantly, is way too much effort. That is a danger sign because if they refuse snacks after a few times of asking them, they will start to head off that cliff and then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So if especially they're starting to get irritable and cranky and they're starting to yell at you, things like that, that is a warning sign that their blood sugar is dropping and you should probably take a break. Go into a lodge, go into the place where they serve lunch, find a table, get them warm, and let them have some snacks there. And I guarantee once they get back into a focused state, they'll be able to eat a little bit more. And that kind of goes to one of the key things that we talk about in particular here on this channel, which is how to maintain focus, poise, and confidence as a dad so that we can not allow them to spiral out of control, right? And one of the biggest things that we talk about on this channel is meditation. How to meditate, stay focused on the task at hand, and while you're outside of that meditation, what you can do to calm yourself when you're feeling yourself get frustrated. I've got a great guide that's linked in the description below that talks specifically about that. It's a one-page guide, super easy, free to download, and it talks about how within 10 seconds you can lower your pulse, lower your blood pressure, and really focus. So if that's something that might be beneficial to you, check that link in the description. It goes hand in hand with being able to manage the stressors that your kids may bring about when they are low on snacks, right? Finally, make them carry their own snacks. If you have a backpack, and I've got a video here on the channel that shows what I have my kids carry with them, all kinds of great goodies, including one surprising thing that you might be interested in. I have them also carry their own water and their own snacks. And that way, one, I'm carrying less stuff, and two, they're responsible for having those things on their person, especially the water, which is very important. Finally, and this is most important, and I fell prey to this the last time I went skiing with the kiddos, is I carried everything for them, all their food, all their water, but I didn't drink water for myself. I didn't have snacks for myself. And towards the end of the day, I absolutely fell off a cliff myself. I was completely dehydrated, had no salts in my system, and I could really hardly function in the evening when we were going out to have dinner and have fun with the kids because I had just depleted all of my energy stores. So keep that in mind. One of the most important parts, take care of yourself mentally with a guide that I have listed down below, but just as importantly, bring a Gatorade with you. Bring water, bring snacks, and force feed and drink yourself as well. You will thank yourself for it later, especially when people are really irritable, and you're going to be able to help control that situation because you haven't gone off that cliff as well, all right? So those are some tips. Feeding your kids on the slopes, it's absolutely huge. It's huge. It's important. Let me know what tips you might have. Do you get on the slopes? What things do you provide? What are your favorite snacks for your kids? Put them in the comments below. Let's us as dads give some more information and tips to each other so we can all have a great time, and I'll see you out on the slopes. Have a good day. Thanks.